So when Alien Romulus was announced, and also during production, the team focused heavily on using practical effects, with a few scenes requiring CGI or more to make it look better. The facehuggers had some really good animatronics during some scenes. It made them look more natural and real. But the scene with the Offspring hybrid might have been the most shocking. The way it looked and moved was just so creepy. It's the result of a child exposed to Compound Z01 that Science Officer Rook was working on. Fede Alvarez posted a video on social media. They are just going over the scene when the Offspring is going to chase after Rain. As I mentioned in the first video about this creature, it's the first of its kind, and it had many features of both human, alien, and what looks like the face of an engineer. So we are going to look at information that will help explain how this creature came to be within Alien Romulus. The Offspring was played by the basketball player Robert Bobrovsky, who stands at around 7 foot 7 inches tall. The way it's described, you're trying to picture it in your head, and you don't know how the director is going to create this character, says visual effects supervisor Daniel McCarran. Is it going to look like a Xenomorph? Is it going to be something very unique? Is it going to be something we've never seen before? As it turns out, it's all of the above. Because Alvarez wanted the film to be terrifying and favored practical effects over CGI, McCarran and animation supervisor Ludovic scaled back, helping to emphasize the work on the creature design team, but in a subtle way. Everything about the Offspring needed to be natural, with a less is more approach. The first time saw the plates, and this 7 foot tall actor in there, in his costume. It was terrifying, McCarran says. They did such an amazing job with the look and the feel of that character that we knew that everything that we could bring to it was just going to help. Because Bobrovsky isn't a professional actor, the way he moves is just unique, which informed the way they animated the character, considering his big size and the concept of what the creature is. He's giving a lot of new things to watch visually, so I found that to be outstanding. Once the baby begins growing at a rapid pace and starts crawling towards Kay and Andy, McCarran added in tiny details, such as extra blood dripping out of the holes in his back, adding movement to the back of its head, and pushing the skin around a little bit, just to give it that little extra bit of horror that the audience will cringe and react to. They also enhanced the creature's tail by cycling through numerous iterations of how it would move. Was it moving enough? Was it a part of the body or something with a different brain? They didn't want it to look like a dog's tail or a cat's tail. It couldn't make the Offspring look too happy or excited. The Offspring's mini-mouth also went through several iterations during the design process. The Xenomorph mini-mouth was iconic, hard and straight with hammering teeth, while the Offspring's juvenile version needed to be softer, while edging on dangerous because it's still growing. In the scene, the Offspring moves towards its mother Kay, and the idea was that it was looking to feed, so as it lowers its head, Shallow had to make sure the mouth's movement was connected to the Offspring and that it didn't have a mind of its own. I was making sure that people didn't think that he was trying to attack her, but the mouth is still dangerous, McCarran says. They also had an issue with finding the right facial expression for the Offspring. It couldn't look cute, and it couldn't be too angry. You don't want the audience being that empathetic with the baby. You still want them a bit terrified. Toward the end of the sequence, the action moves out into space as the station begins to collide with the planet's rings, which presented its own set of challenges. In terms of the Offspring, there was only so much that Bobrovsky could perform. When they start saying, "We need him to hang from the ceiling, we need him to drop down," the actor can't possibly do that, not in a safe way anyway, and we can't replace them with a stuntie, because we don't have 7'2" or 7'5" stunties of his proportions that can do these either. So anything out in space, Shiloh had to take over and build a fresh performance, drawing back on everything that the actor had done in earlier shots. Audiences have left the theater wondering about the Offspring's close resemblance to the engineers in Prometheus, and McCarran affirms that referencing the larger Alien universe was the filmmaker's grand plan. It's not something that you want to directly connect, McCarran explains, but if you hint that there's a larger story there, there's more mystery, and maybe we're just seeing the beginnings of those ideas. It was definitely something that we wanted to explore. For the creatures, we brought in all the guys from Aliens. They were in their early 20s when they made Aliens, and they were a part of Stan Winston's special effects team, and now we had them at the top of their game. They had their own shops, and so we brought them all together to work on all the creatures, because we went with all animatronics and puppets at every level. I even got the chance to be under the table with them, puppeteering all these animatronics. I have this obsession with no green screens, so we built every creature and set. Everything had to be built, so we were really living and breathing in these spaces. When it comes to face-to-face encounters and moments with creatures, nothing beats the real thing. The Offspring hybrid was a new alien type that had a mixed reaction from the fans. Some of us would accept it, and others just don't like it. Maybe because it goes in a different direction from the Alien franchise, kind of like the newborn alien in Resurrection. So that covers some backstory to the Offspring hybrid in Alien Romulus. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.